Hi everyone, I'm your friend with jets, Justin Sullivan. Today we're going to take a look at owning a mid-sized and super mid-sized private charter jet in today's high-cost, high-revenue climate. What does it cost to buy one today? What does it cost to operate? And what's the bottom line? What sort of outcomes can an owner expect? This is a very outcome-oriented presentation. Essentially what we're doing is using charter as the silent partner, offering an aircraft owner a subsidized, tax-advantaged access point to private air travel. The consolidation that's happening in the private jet marketplace is having a dual effect. Firstly, it's raising charter prices dramatically, and secondly, it's increasing the pricing power of airplane owners and operators. As you'll see, looking through the lens of a sophisticated investor who's flying between 50 and 150 hours privately per year, owning a charter jet is an idea worthy of some serious consideration. The business structure of this model is one where the owner takes full financial responsibility for the asset. We earn an asset management fee and a commission from chartering it out. We enter this jet onto our Part 135 operating certificate under our maintenance, insurance, charter, and crewing programs, and it's a true turnkey asset management program providing statutory liability protection, giving owners 24/7 access to your owner services team who coordinates all details of your trips and ownership experience. Owners are provided a monthly asset P&L statement. Our flagship aircraft is the Falcon 50. Manufactured by Dassault, the Falcon 50 is a 9-seat, tri-engine, super mid-sized executive business jet. That 3-engine aircraft has the capabilities to go anywhere. New York to LA, Miami to Seattle, Aspen to Palm Beach, East Hampton to Beef Island. The Falcon 50 can get you anywhere inside 6.5 hours nonstop in absolute safety, comfort, and style. Our 9-seat modern 2021, 2022, and 2023 cabin interior refurbishments are inspired by the finest yachts and motor cars, featuring diamond stitch leather seating, plush leather headliners, matching side panels, nickel-plated hardware, next-generation hardware, a refreshment center, and room for a cabin attendant. This asset will transform your lifestyle and make the world a smaller place. Let's look at the asset utilization model of a private jet. How does an asset like this make money? Because I'm often asked about the rising costs that we're seeing, and while it's true that parts, fuel, and labor costs are all rising, these cost increases are more than outweighed by the rise in demand and the pricing premium of this premium product. Let's discuss the inputs on this slide. On the left side of this slide, a Falcon 50's monthly overhead is about $80,000 per month, carrying 4 full-time pilot salaries, simulator training, insurance, and monthly expenses. On the right, it costs about $3,885 per raw hour, per hour that it flies to operate a Falcon 50, factoring in fuel, maintenance, and crew travel. Just a quick word on maintenance. Keeping this jet in top-notch condition, where we're budgeting $1,500 per hour or $1,530,000 per year in a continuous maintenance program that keeps this aircraft flying safely to the manufacturer's specifications. Now I'll call your attention to the lower right part of this slide and the inputs. Charter revenue. The raw rate for this jet is $7,000 per hour that it flies. And for the sake of this model, we're assuming 10 occupied hours per month of owner usage, or 120 hours per year. In this case, the owner's paying an occupied hourly rate of $5,000 per hour into his own account. More on that in just a minute. Now let's look at the cash flows. We'll look at it line by line. 75 hours per month of charter times $7,000 an hour minus a 15% commission is $5,355,000. 120 hours of owner hours times $5,000 an hour minus a 15% charter commission is $510,000 in owner revenue. $954,000 of annual overhead is $79,500 per month divided by 12 months. And 85 hours per month of total utilization times $38.85 per hour is $3,962,700. This leaves an EBITDA of $948,300, but that only tells part of the story. Let's look at your outcomes. First, assume that you went for the top of the line and paid $3.5 million for your Falcon 50. Right off the top, you're going to see a 40% tax benefit due to bonus depreciation, bringing your actual cost basis to $2.1 million. On the asset utilization side, I just showed you how the model works, modeling out to $4.74 million in EBITDA over 5 years, of which you, the owner, have contributed $3 million to cover the cost of your own flights. And the reason that I'm showing it to you in this way is for the right investor to look at it in comparison to their alternative. In other words, if you were going to go charter that 120 hours or that 60 hours or whatever your use case is, how much is that going to cost you? In his October 2022 market snapshot, Doug Galan of Jet Card Comparisons lists the nationwide super mid jet card rate at $12,500 per occupied hour plus tax. I think that's a little low, but let's go with that. This owner's 120 hours per year times $12,500 per hour times 5 years is $7,500,000 in costs that he's paying out the window to third-party service providers, represented on the left-hand side of this column. On the right-hand side is owning an aircraft, starting with his $3.5 million asset acquisition, taking 40% bonus depreciation off the top, giving him an after-tax cost basis of $2.1 million. His 5-year utilization EBITDA of $4.7 million, minus the $3 million that he's paid in for that 120 hours per year over 5 years, gets that owner to a 5-year net cost of $360,000. In other words, it costs that owner $360,000 to do what he would have otherwise spent $7.5 million to do in the open charter market. That represents a $7.14 million savings versus charter on his own aircraft, with his own pilots, his own familiarity, calling his shots, flying when he wants to fly, scheduling his aircraft when he wants to schedule it. Complete game changer. So a Lear 60 is another popular model. It's a little bit smaller than a Falcon 50. Costs about 10 to 15% less to acquire. Costs about 15% less to operate. Charters for about 15% less. Can go about 15% less distance, but it's a great modern executive business jet. It's the perfect lifestyle and business tool. And it's a charter workhorse that operates at a very similar margin to a Falcon 50 with similar outcomes. Manufactured by Bombardier, the Lear 60 has a very sleek, modern 7-place cabin interior, and it has the range to go from New York to Dallas, Seattle to Las Vegas, Miami to Denver. I often get asked, do we have difficulty chartering planes like this from the 80s and 90s? And the answer is an emphatic no. What today's travelers care about is safety, privacy, flexibility, value. Our charter clients don't come to us because we're the cheapest solution, but because we're an excellent solution that's not the most expensive way to go either. And for an owner, we completely change the script. Our pilots are on our front line, and they're hired for their attitude and appetite for client service. They take your bags. They read your client profile before your flight. They have the Financial Times or Wall Street Journal or New York Times on the first rear-facing starboard seat. They make sure that the lav and galley area have great smelling L'Occitane Provence products. It's all a well-orchestrated part of our DNA to make you feel like you're flying with family. Clients care about that service. They care about great-looking jets, a great experience, and they care that they feel safe behind the operational control of two friendly, experienced, approachable pilots who care about their experience. Thanks for your time, and I don't care who you are. If you're spending $50,000 this holiday season to fly one way from Boston to Puerto Rico, that hurts. And if you're doing that type of thing and spending that type of money, and you want to do it more often and spend less, then give me a call or send me an email. You'll be glad you did.